Greetings, fellow gamers. LMS Alucard here with Ambivalent Gaming, and welcome to the first of a series of videos discussing what I would do. This can be loadouts, strategies, philosophies, and so on when playing Destiny 2. Now I want to get a disclaimer out there. I do not have all exotics unlocked, especially on my alt classes, nor do I have all known god rolls for weapons or armor stats. These can change depending on seasonal, weekly, and other updates Bungie may make over time. Keep in mind, this is what I do and may not necessarily be the best or fit with your playstyle. All that said, let's get started. Today we'll be looking at my standard loadout, what I tend to use while exploring or doing most activities. Starting us off in the kinetic slot is Witherhoard. This is an exotic grenade launcher from Season of the Arrivals, available in the exotic archives for 1 exotic cipher, 100,000 glimmer, 150 glacial starwort, and 1 ascendant shard. Witherhoard is a top tier weapon that is perfect for damaging and killing large groups of adds and buying you a few seconds of cover. It also penetrates through immune barriers like what is found on Hydras or the shields of phalanxes. When the catalyst is active, it will auto-load in the holster so you can swap to another weapon and keep shooting. This leads to my energy slot, 7th Seraph VY-7 Legendary Submachine Gun. Since I use a Warmind cell build, this or Ikelos are perfect weapons for me to use. I prefer 7th Seraph as it has better stability, which gives me better accuracy. I use the 4th times the charm and Dragonfly perk with Dragonfly mod. The combination, along with Witherhoard, grants me high amounts of AoE damage to instantly clear groups of adds. If that wasn't enough, if Witherhoard kills an add while I have my SMG in hand, it counts towards the Warmind count, i.e. I just might get a Warmind cell, and I will get one off of a yellow bar enemy. Finally, the heavy slot. The definition of who I am as a player, a sword. While I tend to run Crown Splitter, the activity and my mood will change which I use between Crown Splitter, Fallen Guillotine, and Soulless Scar. Adept, of course. It is possible for me to use Temptation's Hook as well, considering it is arc, but that may only be 5% of the time. I prefer Crown because it has highest damage and allows me to finish an enemy quickly and with them at a higher health. Besides, how badass is it to run with a two-handed sword in one hand? I mean, look at that. Keep in mind I do run a specific exotic armor that amplifies the effectiveness of swords, and we'll get to that in a minute, but these weapons are highly effective and just loads of fun to play with. At last, we come to the armor. Starting with the exotic of choice, Stronghold, big surprise, exotic arms armor. Great place to farm these would be Legend and Master Lost sectors, with of course the arms armor as a reward, or you can try your luck with Xur. As you can see, this maximizes the guard stats on swords and heals you with a perfect guard. Meaning, if a shot is fired at you and you guard right before it hits you, you are going to be healed as opposed to taking damage. If you take a sword and guard without using Stronghold, you will notice the energy meter drains really fast. But with Stronghold, it practically becomes infinite. Second, blocking shots basically costs almost no energy. And finally, the damage resistance is greatly increased. This can effectively protect you from headshots, explosions, and many environmental damage. Keep in mind that a weapon like Eyes of Tomorrow, if it hits you right, will bypass the guard. Likewise, Witherhoard, be it getting hit directly or standing in the area of effect, cannot be blocked. In any case, Stronghold has saved me and my fire team many times and even prevented wipes. It's actually very rare to see me not wearing these. As for the rest of the armor, I have a high focus on resilience and intellect. Combined with things like sniper and melee resistance and passive guard from the artifact, I have a very high damage resistance, especially while guarding. I mentioned already I use a Warmind build, specifically Void. This means I am using cellular suppression, global reach, of course, power of Rasputin, and grasp of the Warmind. Considering my solar subclass and sometimes using Sola Scar, I use Wrath of Rasputin as well. Cellular suppression allows me to disorient nearby enemies, preventing attack. Power of Rasputin causes the same enemies to take 10% increased weapon damage. Global Reach, of course, extends the range of these two mods. Grasp of the Warmind allows me to pick up, throw, and stick a Warmind cell to an enemy. Always fun. Finally, Wrath allows explosive solar damage to spawn Warmind cells. Beyond that, I use mods to get my stats to 100 as much as possible and balance the rest. Applicable ammo finders, sword scavenger and better already on feet, submachine gun loader, and bolstering detonation on hands. And of course, lastly, what subclass do I use? Bottom tree Solar Titan, Code of the Siegebreaker, with Thermite Grenade, Strafe Lift, and Towering Barricade. Kills with my solar abilities heal me and generate sunspots, which, when I pass through them, boosts my weapon damage and ability regeneration. The melee ability is an AoE attack, of course further increasing my AoE damage. And when my super is active, it is Sunspot and Warmind Cell Party City in here. In the end, this build allows me to deal heavy AoE damage while doing crowd control. It also enables one-on-one combat with even the strongest of enemies in the most difficult of activities, as the build provides high resistance while guarding, and I can instantly heal myself to full health if I guard correctly. Of course, I am still working on perfecting my skill with this build, but I have found it both fun and challenging to pick up. So, if you see a big orange glow of fire, or a titan flying through the air with a sword, that just might be me. That'll do it for us today. Got a build you use? Questions about mine? Feel free to drop a comment below, smack them like and subscribe buttons, and check out our other videos. Until next time, game on, brethren.